Alright, hello, and welcome back to Dragon Warrior 3. Last time, finished off here in Japan, saved these people from that dragon or Orochi, or Orokai, and got one of the orbs. So we're pretty much done here. Alright. Repel spell, or this trip I'm about to make is going to take forever. So there's another orb to be found southeast of here. Quite a ways south from here, but should be coming up to it soon. Should be in sight any time now. Yep, there it is. Pirates? Oh, okay. Of course, they're only here at nighttime. This place is vacant during the day. These are probably all being pirates at during. Oh yeah? Let's go see this pirate leader. No, not at all. Like Ferris in Final Fantasy V. What? Fine. Be that way. Yes, I find you strange. Not that you're a woman leader, but the fact that you made a big deal about me trying to be polite. The island of the zombie far from here, it's south and slightly. No, what about it? Huh. Oh well. Of course, as long as I'm here, I mean, I didn't come here to talk to her. There's an orb to be found here. Push this boulder up, search the ground where it was. Well, that's 3 of them. Okay. Well, that could be useful, Wing of the Wyvern. In fact, no, not mine. Who has that? Alright. Now, from here you can, since there's 6 orbs in all and I only have 3 of them, with the lack of inventory space being a thing in these older games, could either go to the vault in Alien and drop them off for the time being until you have all 6 of them, or the place where you need to bring them to. You can do that now. Just north of Alien or Noanios. There's this shrine here. while staring at eggs. What? Why are you repeating each other? Ramia. Okay. So yeah, doesn't matter which orb goes on which pedestal. Who had the other one? Ah, there it is. Halfway there. And we got some more inventory space now. So yeah, there's still 3 more orbs to find. One of which, well, potential spoiler alert, you'll eventually find in that new town that your merchant is building. What dictates the completion of that, I'm not sure. I think it has to do with how many orbs you've found since the point you started that whole sequence. By bringing a merchant there, triggers it, obviously. Then from there on, I think it's how many orbs you found since then. Keep the weaker enemies away for now. Oh, okay, we got a new building here. What are you selling? Leather helmet? At this point in the game? Really, dude? You gotta be kidding me. Who are you anyways, as if I don't know? Yeah. Or whatever name you gave your merchant character in your playthrough. So yeah, that seems to be all of the development going on here so far. Alright. Lamp of Darkness. Instant day-night transitions. Well, day into night doesn't work the other way around. Not the Lamp of Daylight. Oh wow, we do have some changes here since... Okay. Not much, but... Okay. Alright, well, that seems to be all. Come back here and check on this, on the development of this later. For now, if you haven't already been there, return to Alien and sail west. You'll eventually come up to the island of Lancel. But since I was already there to get the invisibility herb for Edgenbear Castle, to get the Vase of Drought, I've already done that whole sequence. Anyways, couldn't do this last time I was here since I didn't have the final key item yet. I was in the process of getting that item, but actually, let's clear up some space here. Talk to this guy. Test your courage. What is this? The Citadel of Trials in the first Final Fantasy game? No, obviously not. There you had your whole party. Here it's just one person at a time. Or one person, whoever is leading the party. Alright. Which is why I cleared off as much inventory space as I could. Granted, I need the final key item because there's going to be some locked doors here. So. Oh, you dirty. I hate when you do that. Okay. Oh, sure. Instabab. Ooh, metal slime. Of course. Typical metal slime in a Dragon Warrior game. Runs away. Purple apes. Grape ape. Grape ape. I mean, oh, frick. Why am I even referencing that? That cartoon is older than I am. Sheesh. Of course, this is a case where I'm glad I'm at a higher level, since I'm all by my lonesome for this one. Don't have my other party members. Oh, you get 2 turns? Or 2 attacks per turn, whatever? Or maybe not. Okay. Rogue Knight. Ain't nothing new. We've seen them since what? Knave, the town north of Romali. Hardly a new enemy. Okay. Starters. Where is that? Went too far. Somewhere around here. Ah, there it is. Of course. Screen transition, random battles. Yay! Of course, easier enemies. I guess they couldn't put any real strong enemies here since you have to do this one party with only one party member. Armor of Terra Firma. Okay. Ooh, 10-point defense increase. I will take that. Sell off that magic armor. Alright, well that's one of the items I wanted from here. Now, For the item I'm actually, well, yeah, armor, I guess, is a nice find too, but the plot crucial item I'm here for, put it that way, the item that makes this a requirement, is over this way. Says who? Why are you... Faces in the wall can talk now? Okay. Hey! Mushrooms I can cast ice magic. And again, I'm seeing purple monkeys. What has the hero been smoking? When you start seeing purple monkeys, it's time for a sobriety test. Oh great, now I'm hearing things too. Twin Rova. Oh, wrong game. Besides that, this was, what, a decade. And this came out in 1988 in Japan, 1992 here in America, so yeah. Like a decade before Ocarina of Time did in Japan, or 6 years before it did here in the States. Either way, this game far predates Ocarina of Time and the Twin Rova reference. Just can't help it. Whenever I see witches in video games, I either think of Twin Rova and Ocarina of Time, or the Wicked Witch of the West and Wizard of Oz, one of the two. Whichever comes to mind first. But anyways. That's not the item. Frick, you can get that in any item shop throughout the game. You didn't have to come all the way over here for that. This is the item you had to go come here for eventually at some point in the game. Yeah, one of the orbs. 4 down, 2 to go. Yep, I'm okay. That was easy. Okay. Now... Not even past the 20-minute mark of this video. Okay. Well then, in that case... for the plot event that goes on here. Granted, again, I could have done this much earlier, as soon as I made my way here using the final key and those warp panels. But I put it off until now. So I wanted to get that whole new town scenario started first for the main reason. That, and I wanted to level up my gear, equipment, and experience levels from my party members. As again, this will, spoiler alert, this will include a dungeon and a boss battle. So, yeah. Anyways. Well, if he's the one in that casket, obviously not. I don't know, good question. Why did he die? Natural causes? Or... Really? Well, in stories of old, medieval kings could be rather vicious, but really? The king ordered this guy dead just because he... Okay. So much for freedom of speech. Huh. Okay, well, let's go see this king. If he's as bad as that, I have a few choice words for this king. Order someone dead just because they... Yes, I know that. Duh. No. You're not gonna let me in, are you? Okay. Now, granted, all the stuff I'm about to do, if you've played the game before and therefore know all this stuff, you don't have to do any of this. There's a dungeon cave southeast of here. Just go through that, find the key item there, come back, use it. But just for the heck of it, I'm going to go through all this as you would on a first playthrough, exploring and talking to everybody. Since I don't do a whole lot of that on these playthroughs, especially on games like this where I've played it couple dozen times over the years. So yeah, basically that's your hint. Gotta sneak in at nighttime. Which, in later games, is no problem, since the stay at the inn, they ask you if you want to stay overnight or just for a while. In these older games, in the original versions of them, yeah. So, staying at the inn won't help. For right now, that's okay, since I never did show any of the battles around here. Just kind of edited them all out in that grinding sequence earlier. Oh, that's right, I still have the repel spell in effect. Okay. But anyways, yeah, there's the cave. If you know what you're doing here, you can just go through there. Like I usually do on a playthrough of this game. I just go right to that cave, get the key item there. You don't have to do any of this stuff. Oops. My mistake. I had everybody targeting the same enemy. That doesn't work. Not in this game. I mean, you have auto-targeting to an extent. You know, if there's multiples of the same type of enemy, you can auto-target within that type of enemy, but if you have two different enemy varieties, then no. You can't go from one enemy variety to the other in auto-targeting like that, unfortunately. At least not here. In the Switch version you can do that, but not in the original. That's one of them quality of life upgrades, I guess you'd say. Well, now we got green, pale green monkey. Uh-oh, shoot. Damn it, that limbo spell. Simon got sent back to Elia. Well, fine. I'm not going back right now. nighttime anyway, so let's do this. Okay, well they're gone. Guess the funeral is over, obviously. They're not sleeping yet? Since when do we actually have competent guards in video games? These guards are obviously better and more alert than the guards in Ocarina of Time would be 6 years later. There, I still get a kick out of that when you sneak past all the guards and you see Zelda. She's like, "How did you get past the guards?" I'm thinking, dude, a sleepwalker could get past your guards. Yes. So yeah, to sneak past them, it doesn't have. It can be day or night. You just gotta find the secret entrance and, well, not too secret. It sticks out like a sore thumb, if you'll pardon the ages-old expression there. But to complete this sequence, once you get the right item to do so, then it has to be nighttime. Make it here in daylight hours, the king is still awake and on his throne. You talk to him, and he's very rude to traveling newcomers. Just because you talk to him, he'll throw you in the dungeons. Not going there. Well, you're not gonna let me talk to people, huh? Yeah, I think this only works if you actually get caught and thrown in. Yeah, never mind. I think what I was trying to show on screen only works if you actually get caught and thrown into jail yourself. When you escape, you come across. Yeah. Dang it! Delays. Oh well, fine. Return. No, not what I had in mind, but alright. Get back to where I was. Now, actually, while I was at Alien, I could have picked up. Oh well. Okay, these guards aren't as competent as I thought. They clearly just saw me, and they're not chasing after me. Like, hey, where do you think you're going? I saw you trying to sneak in. Get back here. And this guy here. Yeah, so again, I take back. These guards aren't so competent after all. Alright, now then. Scoundrels. What do you think this is? Star Wars Empire Strikes Back? Wait a minute. What? Don't we even get a trial here? Great, it's off to the clink. Well, this is a fine way to treat travelers. Sheesh. Okay, how much you want to bet they didn't bother to take our stuff from us before they threw us in here? Place your bets. Of course. Again, I take back any praise I had for the competence of these guards. They didn't even take our belongings before they threw us in jail. Anyways, now that we're in here, past that guard there, as we make our escape, what? Who's that guy in crown and royal garb? What? Wait, whoa, wait a minute. What's going on here? Huh? He's the king, and who's that just threw us in prison? Just for trying to say hello to him. The old imposture gag. Yeah. And that's basically how you'd find out what to do here on a first playthrough back in the day before internet, blah, blah, blah. Find that staff of change and use it on the king. Or actually, no, not that item. Find the right item. Anyways, where the heck am I going? Oh, okay. Okay. So, actually, no, not yet. Now that I think about it, before I go into any dungeons, we're one party member short of a full group. So let's go do something about that. Nope, that's it for now. Stay at the end here as long as we're here. No, that's not the end. Okay, no. No kidding, you don't say. Unless you can talk to flowers now. Okay, that's an interesting place to have your ship. Can't do anything. Okay, never mind. See, what was the way? I think it's up this way. Oh, goody, that's a lot of heal slimes, or cures. Let's take those things out first. Lethal armor. Ow! They do a lot of damage. Even at our levels, with all that armor. Oh shoot, I shouldn't have done that. Dang it, I did it again. I'm such a dunce. Would use the repel spell, but it usually don't work in dungeons, so. Besides, show some of the enemies in this place. Okay, I think these are the same enemies we've already seen before in previous videos. Or just a slight upgrade to them. I already saw these guys while sailing around from what, the SRAM to trying to make it to sleep spells, huh? How does that even work when something like a monstrous dragon is standing in front of you? How could you even possibly fall asleep? Guess maybe pass out from fear or panic, maybe, but I mean, come on, if some huge dragon was standing in front of me, I think sleeping would be the last thing on my mind. It'd be more like getting the hell out of there. Okay, I think I took a wrong turn here. What? Wait a minute. Oh yeah, okay, it's over to the left and then down. Alright, I already seen these guys. First battle I had when I got here. Yeah, down this way. Oh, okay. Terror Shadow. What's so terrifying about it? Just a shadow. Come on. You're gonna start getting afraid of shadows now? Okay, I'm not interested in those. Most of them are mimics, if I remember correctly, anyways. I do want this, though. The reason I'm in this dungeon cave in the first place. Yep, making its return from Part 2, only serving a different purpose in this game. In Part 2, you needed it to change that dog and Moonahan, or whatever, you know, undo the curse for the Princess of Moonbrook. Here it serves a different purpose. Got the item I'm here for, so let's get out of here. Donkey Kong? Well, basically, just Donkey Kong is a green, but... And neither is King Kong, for that matter, Donkey Kong's inspiration. Oh, no you don't. Get rid of you first. I need all 4 party members. As what I'm about to attempt is going to involve a boss battle. Actually, it needed to be night anyway. $80. Wow. Inns are getting expensive. Actually, wait a minute. What am I doing? What am I doing? Duh. Okay, who did I give that to? There it is. Silly me, I forgot I had this item. I was just gonna walk around endlessly until nightfall. Alright. Of course, for this it does have to be nighttime to use the Mirror of Ra item as intended. It does have to be nighttime for that. I was wrong about sneaking in to talk to the king here, but that you can do at any time. Up below. Oh, there's the fake king, the imposture. Okay, who has it? Alright. Might want to make sure you're fully healed for this. Fully healed and ready for boss battle. Making their debut in the Dragon Warrior Dragon Quest games, the troll enemies. An enemy that's been in pretty much every game since this one. Okay, so it's a little easier when you're over leveled. So sue me. Okay, got that back. That's better. No more having to sneak into the castle. Damn, I still need that many points? Wow. Sure, why not? Wait a minute. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I got it. I was, for a second, I was thinking, wait a minute, wasn't I supposed to get an orb for doing this? But no, that's... Get that staff of change for doing this. Okay. Well, let's see. Speaking of orbs... Let's see if the town over here is developed to its fullest extent yet. Samanoa. Oh, never mind. I make that reference all the time. I already made that reference in both Dragon Warrior 4 and 2. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Marioville. Okay, whose idea was it to name it after him? Yeah, I've already been there. Already done that. In-game way of telling you that, yeah, that's the thing to do, but... Oh wow, they actually got better gear here this time. Unlike last time, just a, what, leather helmet or leather shield? Now they actually have weapons and armor more suffice for the point of the game you're in. Granted, I don't need any of it, but... Oh, he's got himself a nice little house here. Yeah, looking good so far. Oh yeah? Uh-oh. Wait a minute, if that's the guy that was here when we got here, then who's here in the... Okay. Don't care about that. Alright. No. Oh, we got a different person here now. And there it is. That's your cue that this whole scenario is fully developed, or however you want to put that. And you can now wrap this whole sequence up. Once you see that dialogue, you're done here. Well, you still got to get the item, but as apparently from what I've already showed, yeah, Mario becomes basically put a slave driver. The people, you know, kind of Play my favorite song at him, you know. We're not going to take it. And throw him in prison. Yep, and that's... So I'm done here. Search the yellow orb. So that's 5. Now there's only 1 orb left. Yeah. To get to it, well, first I gotta go through a slight item exchange, capped off by one of the more annoying dungeons, at least on my first few playthroughs. Back throughout the 90s, I used to hate this whole sequence coming up, especially that dungeon. Oh, good God. Of course, nowadays I can breeze through it, having memorized the layout of Anyway. Actually, I'm good for now. Was gonna say stay at the end, but first off, to clear up some inventory space here, drop those latest 2 orbs I collected off up here. Again, it doesn't matter what orb you put in on what pedestal. Luckily, or this could be a, well, potentially interesting puzzle depending on your aspect of interesting or annoying. If it actually, you know, mattered by what orb went on what pedestal. Alright. Now, got a couple items I can, at least one item for sure that I can drop off. Since I'm done with the Samanoa Mirror of Ra boss troll sequence, since I'm done with that, see who had it again? Not me. Ah, there it is. Yeah. Don't need that no more. It's already served its one and only purpose for the entire game. Alright. Alright. I think that'll do it for this video. Next time, begin the sequence of events that will ultimately culminate in gaining the final orb of the 6. Hopefully be able to do all that, the whole sequence, the dungeon, and actually get that final orb all on the same video. We'll see about that though, since it can be. Anyways. See you next time. Thanks for watching as always, and bye.